Depression is a formidable adversary. It wraps its tendrils around every aspect of life, sapping joy, motivation, and energy. For a long time, I found myself trapped in this bleak state, unable to master the enthusiasm for activities I once loved. Drawing, which had been a source of immense joy and expression, became a distant memory, as I was not able to even turn on my graphic tablet, let alone pick up a pen. My days were monotonous, and the future seemed devoid of color and hope. My thoughts would often drift away, leaving me in the permanent state of an existential crisis. It has pained me to think, to exist, and the life itself felt more like a burden rather than an experience. I was in so much distress that I couldn't even cry. That's how empty I was inside. Sometimes I would press my hand against my chest to feel the heartbeat, just to verify that I was, in fact, still alive, but I couldn't feel anything. There was no heartbeat, no hunger, no taste. Nothing at all felt like it's supposed to, and I was all alone. I couldn't find the strength to open up, and I still lack it to present day because, let's face it, opening up requires a lot of courage. Vulnerability is not something that you can just show or explain, because being vulnerable with someone means giving them an advantage over you, the ultimate weapon they'll leverage to manipulate you with. And I feel that, just like many others do. Rightfully so. Nobody wants to try and connect with someone on a deeper level only for their desire for a genuine connection to be exploited and turned into advantage points later on. I was scrolling through my main YouTube page one day when an interesting anime character design caught my eye in the shorts section. So naturally, I clicked on the video and fell in love with the voice. The short was from the official Hex Haywire's channel, and while initially I didn't get curious enough to go and explore his content, later this day his shorts kept popping in my recommendations, so subsequently I did get interested and surrendered to the algorithm. Before Hex, I didn't have any interest in VTubers, though I was aware of their existence, and the concept of an entertainer behind an anime avatar aligned close with my interests. However, no matter how hard I wanted to like VTubers or enjoy their streams, I just couldn't relate to any of them, as most of these creators felt hyper-energetic and thus exhausting. Their streams were overwhelmingly fast-paced, or I simply didn't like them, or their voices, or the games they played. As a very chill and calm person myself, I find it really hard to engage with overly exaggerated content. To me, what set Hex apart was his calm demeanor and the sense of community he fostered. His streams became a safe haven where I could momentarily forget my struggles and immerse myself in his voice like a nice blanket. His ability to connect with his audience on a personal level, sharing his own experiences and encouraging others to do the same, created a supportive environment that was instrumental in my journey out of depression. As I continued to watch Hex's streams, I noticed a gradual shift within myself. The laughter and joy I found in his content began to chip away at the walls of apathy that depression had built. His energy was contagious, not overly stimulating, but soft and uplifting. It sparked a dormant desire to create once again. After exactly 1 week of catching up with his streams, I picked up my pen and turned on the tablet. I was inspired by Hex, so I wanted to shape my admiration into some sort of resemblance of the person who ignited the spark within me. It had to be a fan art, and it became the one, the making of which you're watching right now. Drawing, which had once felt like an insurmountable task, became a therapeutic outlet. Each line on the screen was a step towards reclaiming a part of myself that I had lost to the misery. To pull this off, I had to go on a VTuber wiki and dig through Hex's channel and acts in order to get more information about him as a character. First, I pulled up a reference sheet from his acts, but since the resolution of this thing was quite low, I did make some mistakes in little details, such as drawing the brush incorrectly and messing up other small accessories. Alas, when I realized that I should have dug up some of his streams where he is positioned closer to the camera and just take a screenshot to use as a reference, I was already deep in the rendering stage and was too lazy to implement the corrections. So, it is what it is now, I guess. While starting on this drawing, I was relying on the Hex's law as a character with the ability to absorb one's pain at the expense of his own well-being. Since this power of his has a noble purpose and is used with selfless intentions, I thought that giving it a clean and simple golden look would be an easy portrayal. I wanted to give it a warm feel of clarity, so muddying it with oversaturated light was out of the question. I did give it a faint golden shine to amplify that it is a supernatural ability, but I didn't want to go overboard with it. For the paint state, I planned to smear just a streak of blood on his palm and give him cutesy bloodshots in the eyes. However, the tiny lines of red were not visible from that distance and didn't make much difference, so I went with dyeing whites red completely and made blood vessels black to amplify the contrast. I'm not sure where the blood on his neck is coming from. That is something that just manifested itself, and I decided to keep it just because it looked kinda cool. After altering the clean version to a bloodied one, I rendered both images as PNGs and imported them into DaVinci Resolve to make a final animated version. Upon doing so, I realized that adding a glitch transition wasn't enough and decided to animate the power circles as well. I couldn't wrap my head around why they didn't rotate at the right perspective, so I had to jump back into Clip Studio and make them flat, removing the angled effect. I remade them completely, separating each element from the other. I ended up having each circle, light effect, and magic dust on separate transparent layers. Then I rendered each layer as PNG and transported them back to DaVinci, where I slapped a simple rotation animation on each. After that, I added a video transition effect from DaVinci's library between two hexes and rendered it all as a GIF and MP4. The GIF wasn't up to my standards, so I never posted it anywhere, but at least I tried, I guess. And here's the final result. Hex's streams provided a lifeline during my darkest days, offering a blend of entertainment, empathy, and encouragement that was crucial in my battle against depression. Through Hex, I rediscovered the joy of drawing and how therapeutic art creation can be. To me, his streams were more than just a distraction. They were a push to lift my head and pick up the pen. I felt alive and joyful while working on this art, and the inspiration kick that I got from watching Hex drove me to create this VTuber model as well. Though I'm not sure how often I'm going to use it, if at all. It was a wonderful and exciting experience. I had a lot of fun working on it and learned a new software while doing so. I don't really know how to wrap this up, but I feel like I've already said it all, so hereby we've approached the end of this video, and I would like to thank you for watching. If you have anything to comment on this piece of content, please do so in the comment section down below, and I'll see you around, I guess.